Enemy of the state.
An enemy of the state.
Enemy of the state.
Dank Pod-Stash.
You're listening to Enemy of the State's Dank Pod-Stash. Check out thedankpodstash.com to find every episode of the Dank Pod-Stash, links to support the show via our BitBacker and Patreon, Dank Pod-Stash merchandise, and much more. If you'd like to advertise on the Dank Pod-Stash, email us at dankpodstash@gmail.com.
It's real! Black Lives Matter! Oh shit, they tear gassing! Hey, it's real! I stole it from the police! I stole the police horse, fuck it!
Police reported ahead.
I'm gone!
All right. We're here for episode 87 of Enemy of the State's Dank Pod-Stash. You just watched the absolute fucking legend that stole a police horse during these riots right now. I can't get enough of it. Hopefully I was able to put that actual video so you could watch it and not just me sitting here like an idiot watching it and laughing at it. But that is legendary. Figured we'd start this one out with something light. And yeah, it's just me. It's just NonVotingNick this time by myself. I'm coming back from surgery, so you get to see me in my comfy clothes. It's been really nice, relaxing and getting better. I'm pretty upset that I'm stuck recovering from surgery during all this. I just found out that there's shit going down in my town tonight, which is weird because it's kind of small. It's actually going on right now. But yeah, we'll see if I can get there. Still got some stitches and whatnot in. And thanks for everybody who reached out for support when my appendix tried to kill me. Like I said, the appendix has been vanquished, got taken care of. I really appreciate that. But yeah, you also get to hear that I have super supporters, Dank Pod-Stash super supporters, my homie Dave, homies Maxwell and Dennis. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Without you guys, it would not be possible. Without you and the rest of the Patreon supporters, but you guys are the super supporters. I really appreciate that. Also, as you know, the Dank Pod-Stash is officially sponsored by Project Sparta. It's time to get hashtag Boogaloo ready, right now of all times, and in fighting shape. Greg Papanicholas is going to get you there with personalized meal plans, training, group support, and tons of amazing fitness and motivational resources and knowledge, including the Project Sparta Facebook group. You can go to projectspartacoaching.com and learn more about Greg's work and get started on your path to health. Right now, don't be that person that only sits and talks about change, whether it's your health or even the Boogaloo, the riots, any of that shit right now. Got to be healthy, got to get ready. It's never too late to start. Get up, start learning and drilling and training. And one of the most important parts of that is your physical fitness. So let's get fit, get hashtag Boogaloo ready. Go to projectspartacoaching.com now and get after it. I want to tell you guys one thing since we're live and we're doing this. Let me close out of this video here. See if we can get out of this. We got some news stories going on, but I'm going to bring something else up for you. If you go, I believe by the time this is out, to the Monopoly on Violence.com, you're going to find yourself a fucking fantastic documentary. My boy, my good friend Chris Kofer and his friends, I think we got Pete, Mance, Raider, Quinones, a bunch of other people worked on this project. Those are the guys I remember specifically. They put together a fucking fantastic documentary that I was, super happy to be given a tiny little part in the sections about agorism and memes, believe it or not. So go to the monopolyonviolence.com. You're going to be able to watch it for free. Support them and buy it, though. If you can't, that's cool. But if you can, buy that motherfucker. Get this thing spread everywhere because it's so fucking good. And it's so relevant right now, too. It's incredibly relevant right now with everything that we have going on in the world. People need to see this. It's going to change some minds. I'm telling you, it's that good. It's going to change minds and get people on board with anarchy, maybe at the very least libertarianism. It's a step in the right direction. I was talking with Chris how the poster that they came up with, let's see if it pops up on here with my slow-ass shitty internet. If it pops up, we'll see, but it's Riot Cops. You can kind of see it there on the screen, and it's the monopoly on violence, and now it's more relevant than ever. So get it, share it with everybody you know. Check it out. It's really fucking awesome. It's monopolyonviolence.com, themonopolyonviolence.com, and that's going to be in the description as well. Okay, a couple more shout-outs, and then we'll get into the show. I know I tricked you with this live episode with just me, because usually I pre-record these and you hear them before we jump into it, but we're in it. A special shout out to Voluntary Apothecary. Voluntary Apothecary was kind enough to send me a sample care package full of awesome beard care products, including beard oil, mustache wax, combs, and more. They also sent me a spring scent. Damon's going to be sending me some summer scents. I'm super excited. They're awesome. They're great beard oil, great mustache wax. It's all good stuff. VoluntaryApothecary.com. Check it in the episode description. Also, their Facebook page got fucking zucked. So if you can find any way to share their stuff, help them out, go to the website, share that as well. Well, they're zucked, because that's where they make most of their sales. I know Damon would really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it, being as I'm working with them and they're hooking me up. That would be awesome. The Dank Pod-Stash is also teaming up with Road to Anarchy for a monthly newsletter and more. Road to Anarchy is an online magazine connecting groups of voluntary individuals who are looking to increase their freedom from the state, becoming more self-reliant, and developing a better focus on becoming a productive individual is the only mission. The only division is against the state. No matter your flavor of anarchy, finding your road to anarchy is the first step to progress. The time is now to put our individual differences aside, join up, and create change. It is now. Now is the time with all this shit right now, for real. Check out the Road to Anarchy Facebook page and groups to connect with other individuals on the Road to Anarchy. You can go to roadtoanarchy.com to sign up for the monthly zine, or to patreon.com. I believe it's right there. I'm not sure if I'm pointing at it. Patreon.com/thedankpodstash and get signed up with any tier of support. Also, all this descriptive stuff, this is a YouTube video as well. If you're just listening on your favorite podcatcher, that's great. I love that too. But you get to see me in front of a green screen pulling up news stuff, and that hilarious video of the guy that stole the police horse at the beginning of this if you're watching on YouTube. Also, if you haven't subbed on YouTube, even if you don't watch, I would appreciate that. Let's pump these numbers. One more thing, special offer for listeners from friend of the show, listeners and watchers, like I just said, from friend of the show, author and content creator Shane Radliff of Liberty Under Attack Publications. You guys hear this every time, you know what's up. You take 10% off your order by using coupon code DANK10 at libertyunderattack.com. You get all kinds of fucking awesome books. #Agora, second round book on strategy, sedition, subversion, and sabotage. That's the one we need to get out there now. And so many other books. Shane's book, Vonu, A Strategy for Self-Liberation. And they offer assistance with publishing, both paper and digital and audio. It's Liberty Under Attack Publications. Share your story. Find your freedom. All right, let's jump into this motherfucker. So, we all know what the fuck has been going on for the last few days. This shit all took off when I had to go in for my surgery. It is the worst possible timing for me. I'm sure it's not good fucking timing for anybody. But it's wild. And there's a whole lot of speculation that it's orchestrated. I think it's probably about half and half. I think there's probably plenty of people inciting and doing all kinds of shit and guiding people. Agent provocateurs, obviously, there's definitely those. We saw the guy with the hammer bashing up the AutoZone, who was most definitely a cop, who ran straight into the nearest precinct after he started the bullshit where he was. So we know that's going on. So if you're going to the riots and the protests and all this stuff, be careful, please. Don't get drawn in by that. That's another message that's been pretty hot, at least in the anarchist circles lately, since this has started, is the looting that's going along with these attacks on private property and whatnot. So I've been poking a lot of fun at people clutching their pearls over all of the, extra damage that's happening right now, because it's messy. Riots are obviously messy. Revolutions are definitely messy. And what is this? This has swept the nation. So it's either orchestrated or it's a revolution. And either way, if it's orchestrated, we could probably use it, right? We could probably figure out a way to at least help people in moving away from government, something like that. And if it's not, if it's a revolution, we can fucking take advantage of it, something. It's going to be messy. That doesn't mean that I'm endorsing burning down, private businesses and hurting innocent people. Obviously not. I don't think anybody that has been saying the same stuff I have is saying to go ahead and just go do that because fuck them. No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is that it's messy and it's going to happen. And just because it's not the perfect idealized, romanticized picture of what you think should happen in a Boogaloo, a revolution, anything like that, it doesn't matter. It's happening. That's what's going to happen. Stick to your principles when you're out there. Do the right thing. Stop people from hurting other people, from hurting innocent people and whatnot. But know that that's the reality of the situation. Also, fuck Target. Fuck AutoZone. Fuck all of these bootlicking companies that are not only donating to, but actively working with police to spy on us and to oppress us more. You got to realize this. A lot of these fucks, fuck the loyalist bootlickers. We don't need to worry about that. And you know what? People keep bringing up mom and pop stores too. Yeah, that really sucks that when mom and pop shops get burned down. How many mom and pop shops are flying thin blue line flags or have the stupid fucking police and support our military window art up and all that stuff? They're simping to get more business from law enforcement, police, statists in general, right? You think those people wouldn't take pot shots at you if you were out in the streets for the Boog? You think, boomer, coffee shop owner, who the fuck ever, isn't going to point his 1911 at your back when you're going by trying to do your thing? If it's a fucking hot Boogaloo or something like that, get real. Just watch out for that shit. I'm not telling you to go burn down those fucking buildings, throw bricks through them, anything like that. But be aware that it's not just private businesses. There's more to it than that. Everyone's saying private businesses is also hyper-individualist. It's a private business. They can do what they want. Yeah. Be aware of that. They are individuals and they are doing what they want, and not nearly all of them, not even close to all of them, are on your side. Anarchists, we don't have a lot of people. All right. And, we don't have a lot of people, and I'll get to that later, because anarchists have popped up not only in mainstream media once again, but from Trump once a fucking again. But let's jump into some stuff that I found interesting during all this. So the first story I have up here, on the New York Post, is about a woman who was charged with attempted murder of 4 NYPD cops during the protest. She tried to throw a fucking Molotov cocktail into the back window of a police van, and it did not ignite. And they got out, and she got fucked. She got arrested. If this is war, and that's going to happen. I don't want to see any of you guys get arrested for this, anything close to this. Be smart with what you're doing, especially if you're throwing Molotov cocktails in Minecraft. Be careful of anything you're doing in Minecraft, because this could definitely happen to you. It might not ignite, anything like that. But the main point of this is, I think the charges is what I wanted to highlight here. So she faces 4 counts of attempted murder of a police officer, attempted arson, assault on a cop, criminal possession of a weapon, and reckless endangerment. She gets all this for attempting to do something, whereas Derek Chauvin, that piece of shit pig, kneeling on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and killing him, gets basically a manslaughter charge. Fuck out of here. They're throwing the fucking book at her because it's them and only them. They don't give a fuck about you. Also, her sister was taken into custody after she tried to interfere with the arrest. And she got, what'd she get? She got charged with resisting arrest and obstruction of governmental administration. Fucking wanking gestures. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. And okay, so Paul DeGiacomo, head of the Detectives Endowment Association, slammed the sisters as violent criminals and said, "We will never tolerate this, ever." Well, you tolerate a whole lot of other bullshit, don't you? You tolerate a whole lot of shit that they do to anyone who's not blue, don't you? Get fucked, This is exactly why this is happening. This is one example, along with all the fucking shit that Trump is saying to throw more gas on the fire on fucking Twitter of all places. Jesus Christ. This is the reality of the world right now. And we'll get to the what the fuck moments near the end of the show too, but this is exactly why this is happening, because they don't give a fuck about people. And as far as I'm concerned, they're not people. They're fucking pigs. And this is what they do. They give a fuck about them and they're only going to take care of them, and they're going to throw the book at you if anything happens, if you do anything to challenge that in any way. He said in other incidents, cops were hit with bricks, brass knuckles, and bottles. He said, promising that in addition to ensuring the strongest possible criminal charges are filed against these vicious criminals, we will be bringing civil actions against any person who harms a detective. So, yeah, like I said, man, they don't give a fuck. They can kill and maim and abuse anybody they want to with, and they'll get a paid vacation. They might get fired, maybe a little fine, and then they'll get hired somewhere else. So what the fuck? It's complete. They're completely deaf to what's going on, deaf and blind. And obviously the peaceful protests haven't been showing them any different. And that's another thing too. Most of these fucking protests have started out peaceful. I've seen literal firsthand video that people are posting everywhere. The mainstream media is not fucking showing it, but firsthand video of the cops inciting all of this shit. From what I mentioned earlier with the guy with the fucking hammer at AutoZone smashing the windows, and what do you write? Get your free shit zone or whatever on the wall. And then in Seattle yesterday, peaceful protests, cops started launching tear gas and whatnot for no reason. Pepper sprayed a little girl, and get fucked if you're saying, what are you doing bringing a little girl to a protest? People live in these fucking areas. People are around and living their fucking lives when these protests are coming in around them and things are happening, and it doesn't fucking matter what they're there for anyways. A cop pepper sprayed a little girl, so shut the fuck up. That's the problem. Fucking Christ. But yeah, every one of these protests, I know there's some people on Facebook that are putting together a list of everywhere that's been peaceful, and then the cops, they escalated it, and it's happened almost everywhere. There's a lot of weird shit going on too. Something I was touching on before is whether it's orchestrated or not, because there's piles of fucking bricks, pallets of bricks even. I think it was in Denver that there was just a pallet of bricks waiting for protesters and shit like that. It's fucking wild. So be careful out there. Don't let them goad you. And if they do come at you, give them fucking hell in Minecraft. Give it to them. Fuck them. One more quote from the end of this article here. It's just hilarious. One more thing from this DiGiacomo douchebag. They're terrorists who tried to murder New York City police officers, he said. Every leader in this city should be speaking up to condemn these attacks and working with us to prevent more violence. Sadly, they are either silent or working against us because you fucking deserve it. Don't forget also, there was video yesterday of 2 NYPD SUVs plowing into fucking protesters, just running into them. So fuck the NYPD, fuck all police. We know what's going on here. Keep your head about you. If you're going to any of these, and in general, keep your head about you, because we don't need to be causing more division among our ranks, among anarchists, libertarians, what have you, people that should be on the same side against the state. Everybody should be on the same side against the state, because we are not them. So take it easy wherever we are and whatever we're talking about, whether it's in real life on Facebook or whatever. Work together. They're the problems. We see them inciting it. We see them setting people up. We see them committing horrible atrocities, all the way up to murder, obviously, and we can be unified against them if we quit fucking bitching. All right, let's go to the next one. And this is another cop one, another, Another response from one of the cops. So Chattanooga police chief tells officers okay with George Floyd death to turn in badge. So he's from Tennessee. He's a police chief. What's his name? David Roddy. And he tweeted, let's see. Doesn't deserve, let's see. I'll just read it. A Tennessee police chief on Wednesday that said that any officer who doesn't see the injustice in the police custody death of George Floyd in Minneapolis doesn't deserve the badge and should turn it in now. There is no need to see more video, Chattanooga Police Chief David Roddy tweeted. There is no need to wait to see how it plays out. There is no need to put a knee on someone's neck for 9 minutes. There is a need to do something. If you wear a badge and you don't have an issue with this, turn it in, he added. Yeah, and he's right, but still fuck him. He's absolutely right. It's nice to see one of these fucking pigs say something like that. But at the same time, It's just like that meme of bootlickers furiously searching for videos of a cop rescuing a cat anytime someone says that a cop is bad. This doesn't excuse him of being bad, of being a bad cop, because they're all fucking bad. So keep that in mind. I have had this discussion before. I think specifically I remember having this discussion with Hody Johns, former guest on the show and close friend, about whether or not cops should get another chance. I think cops should get another chance as long as they're adamant in knowing that they fucked up with pretty much their whole life and everything they did, and they make an effort and do make their victims whole, that they engage in paying reparations in any way that that's possible. And for a lot of these cops that murder and hurt and ruin people's lives, it's going to be real fucking hard. So I don't really see a whole lot of rehabilitation. But we'll see, I guess, right? I know there's a lot of ex-cops who are running Boog pages and stuff. I know some of them personally, and they're pretty cool. I'm still wary of a lot of them. I'm hoping to get some of them on the show here pretty soon as well. We just haven't been able to link up times. But that's a topic I really want to dig into. As of right now, still, ACAB, man. All cops are bad. All cops are bastards. I don't give them any quarter in anything that's going on right now. Oh, and that reminds me, too, of the fucking picture. Maybe I can pull that up, of the picture of the protesters protecting the cop. Let's see. Typing sounds. Yeah, so there was a riot cop that got separated from his other squad of douchebags. And let's see, there it is. And so he was going to get fucked up. And these fucking idiots decided to go ahead and form a human shield around him. There he is sitting in the back like, what the fuck are these morons doing? That roided up piece of shit. And these guys are fucking protecting him. They're protecting him from getting fucked up by the crowd. Let me fucking ask you something. Look at this fucking picture. What if, let me see if I can zoom in on this. Not very well. There we go. It's loading. So let me ask you fucking something here. If you were one of these protesters and you got fucking separated from your group and happened to run into a wall of fucking riot police like that guy in the background, you think they'd do this for you? No way. No way. They would beat the hell out of you and they would arrest you. Who knows? They might even kill you. Don't do this. Don't do this. It's one thing to, feel bad about seeing someone get killed. It's another thing, tell them, get the fuck out of here. But remember, they would not do that for you. Remember that. It's fucking important, all right? All right, let's get back to where we were. So we were talking about this guy who's telling people who are okay with it to turn in their badge. Great, fine, whatever. Still a fucking cop. Still no such thing as a good cop. So this goes on. I guess my next train of thought for the segue here. Minnesota, I think it was the mayor, says there are anarchists, Minnesota officials, it says, say there are anarchists hijacking peaceful protests and outside agitators. And this is a thing that people with the deep conspiracies have been running with too. And I'm not against conspiracies for the most part. Just show me evidence. Show me what's up. I know following the money's good and all that, but you got to have some evidence, not just this news story. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But they're saying it's anarchists and outside agitators hijacking these peaceful protests. So in Minneapolis, this description's pretty fucking cool too in this article. Whoever wrote this did a good job. It says, drifting out of the shadows in small groups dressed in black, carrying shields and wearing knee pads, they head towards the front line of the protest. Helmets and gas masks protect and obscure their faces, and they carry bottles of milk to counteract tear gas and pepper spray. Most of them appear to be white. They carry no signs and don't want to speak to reporters. Trailed by designated medics with red crosses taped to their clothes, these group head straight for the front lines of the conflict. Night after night in this ravaged city, these small groups do battle with police and the National Guard, kicking away tear gas canisters and throwing back foam rubber projectiles, that's supposed to say, fired at them. Around them, fires break out, windows are smashed, parked cars destroyed. USA Today reporters have witnessed the groups on multiple nights in multiple locations. Sometimes they threaten those journalists who photograph them destroying property. So, yeah, there's people in every fucking city who are down to fucking Boog, whether that's a riot, shooting, whatever. There's people that do this all the time. I guess, professional protesters for more or less, or people who are just passionate about it. This description, while I like how it was written, could be just about anything. These could be cop agent provocateurs. These could be paid agitators. They could be people who just want to fuck shit up. It sounds like people who are ready to go, and it sounds like a lot of them are getting lumped into groups together who aren't necessarily in the same group. Because I don't think that there's going to be medics ready to jump in for agent provocateurs. They wouldn't put medics out there because they don't want to be noticed. So the mayor and the governor say outside agitators are hijacking peaceful protests over the death of George Floyd and literally fanning the flames of destruction. Experts say things will likely get worse in Minneapolis and other cities, blah, 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 obviously. So, and this is what he says, where I got that, professional protester thing from. This is Adam Leggett, a former British Army counterterrorism officer who now works as a security consultant specializing in crowd management for the Densest Group. He says the real hardcore guys, this is their job. They're involved in this struggle. They need protests on the street to give them cover to move. He's not wrong. If you're obviously in a revolutionary group, this is a good thing for you and you're ready for it and you're taking advantage of it. Hint, hint, in Minecraft. So think about that. There's going to be these people. There's going to be agent provocateurs, like I've said ad nauseum to this point. But the main point of this is blaming it on anarchists and outside agitators is absolute fucking bullshit. Because their local news investigates. Records show arrests so far are mostly in state. Outside agitators, my ass. And it could be professional rioters and whatnot, like we read in the last article, that live there. But local jail records show the vast majority of those arrested for rioting, unlawful assembly, and burglary are Minnesotans. Big fucking surprise. People are pissed. People are going out and doing this stuff. It doesn't always have to be a fucking boogeyman, but the media in general, the president, all these fucks want it to be a fucking boogeyman, obviously. Okay, so it says, in casting blame on those responsible for the worst damage from the riots, local and state leaders attributed it to people not from Minnesota, but publicly available data does not support those claims. I think our best estimate of what we heard are about 20% are Minnesotans and 80% are outside, Governor Tim Walz said during a Saturday morning press conference. A review of all the arrests made by Minneapolis-based police agencies for rioting, unlawful assembly, and burglary-related crimes from Friday to Saturday tells a different story. Let's see, where is it? 11 out of the 36 cases, about 86% of those arrested listed Minnesota as their address. So there you go. In Minnesota, 86%. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here, and I'm going to link all these articles in the description, of course, because this is what we're going over, so you can read more of it. But that's a theme we're going to be rolling with here for another part of the show, is that these guys are looking for scapegoats. They're looking for something to blame it on, anything other than, oh, we fucked up and people are pissed, and now this is happening. So don't let them try to run with that and take over the story that way, because we're pissed. Everybody's fucking pissed. Stay pissed, and we need to stay pissed and make a difference. I want to say a positive change, and I know, like I said earlier, it's going to be messy, but that doesn't mean we can't come out on top in a positive way, one way or another, and it's going to be hard. So stick with it and don't let them control the narrative. Be cool, and maybe don't travel to other places to give them any ammo unless you're absolutely needed. Work with your groups. We've talked about that before. Work with your groups, network, have a group, all that stuff. I'm working on it. It's still rough, for fuck's sake, but we got to do it. So, okay, on with the scapegoats. So here, this is an older one from Oakland. Plain in the picture here, see if I can click it, a plainclothes California Highway Patrol officer. He's pulling a gun on people who caught his pig ass inciting at a riot, and I can't remember if that's a guy that was attacking him on the ground or his partner, but that is, look at all the signs here. Look at his gloves. He's probably he's doing a good job with the puffy vest because he's probably wearing at least soft armor under there, but there's an infographic going around. Actually, it's just a picture with some points of an undercover, and you look for the vest, you look for the cop issued gloves, not necessarily cop-issued, but shit like that. They'll have, a lot of times, cop-issued boots. You can see the cuffs in their pockets because they're not wearing their utility belts. They probably have communications on them somewhere. Look for all that stuff. But this is what happens when they get caught being agent provocateurs in protests and inciting violence and inciting riots, all this stuff. They don't like it. So, and be careful if you catch them. You should catch them. I think that's awesome. Expose them. Take pictures, take video, take all that shit. You're going to get some awesome images like this, and you're going to expose exactly what the hell's going on. But be careful, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to get pissed, and they're going to try to intimidate you into backing off. Yeah, and like I said, that seems to be going on just about everywhere. So be careful of that. All right, next scapegoat, a big scapegoat. And it's this has been a scapegoat for not just Trump, not just the media, not just right-wing people, whatever, all kinds of people, but also anarchists of many types. Probably the favorite scapegoat of every problem when it comes to public problems is Antifa. Trump. Antifa is now a terrorist organization. Trump declares war on anarchist, quote-unquote, protesters. Look, people, yeah, I know there's communists, there's Marxists, there's all kinds of fucking shitty people involved with Antifa, and all of you people who value the individual so highly, myself included, remember that they're a bunch of individuals. They're not all Marxists, they're not all communists. I'm not telling you have to be fucking best friends with them, and obviously you don't have to fucking listen to me, but think about it. If Trump has been trying to demonize Antifa, and the media has been trying to demonize Antifa, and everybody's just like, yeah, that's right, let's fucking jump on it, obviously you're doing exactly what they want. I'm just saying, think about it. Antifa does enough to fuck up their own image. And I say their own image like it's one big organization, which I truly don't believe is what it is. This, it's a George Soros-funded organization. No, it's a bunch of small autonomous cells and individuals who come together to do all the fucking shit they do, whether it's fucky or good, okay? And taking what Trump says as correct on this is, you're going to take it on anything else? Are you serious? It's dumb. But yeah, this is the dangerous part of this, is that he's trying to marry the words Antifa and anarchist. And whether or not you agree that Antifa is anarchist, some of the people in it are anarchist or not, that's on you. But this is the dangerous part, because if you're an anarchist and you're vocal about that, you may just have been declared a domestic terrorist by Trump. By whatever he's trying to fucking do with all of this. I don't know exactly what he's trying to do besides blame him, but I know I talked about it, I think the last time I was talking by myself on the show, that he was trying to declare them domestic terrorists. And if that happens and anarchist is in the language of the legislation as well, it's time to start watching out, guys. It's been time to start watching out, but it's fucking coming. Some people have suggested ditching the anarchist label for voluntarists. I'm not interested in doing that. More power to you, voluntarists, but I like being an anarchist, and I'm not interested in hiding because of this. So be smart. Do what you got to do. Just remember that this could be coming, and so out of hate for Antifa, don't support it. Be smart. Don't support what they're trying to do, because it's going to get you as well. I want to say here too, what did he say? He's also trying to put the terms, I think, looters and anarchists together. There we go. He also declared the protesters as looters and anarchists while accusing them of dishonoring the memory of Mr. Floyd. Trump has been a real piece of shit through all of this, from threatening to release the dogs when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Just go to his Twitter and look at this shit. It's fucking ridiculous. He also says the Antifa-led anarchists, among others, were shut down quickly after he said congratulations to our National Guard for the great job they did immediately upon arriving in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you've seen the pictures of the nasty girls in there, they look fucking stupid. They look as if they're unarmed. They don't have plates. They may have soft armor. But be careful, because they probably have something they can fuck you up with. From what some former military were telling me, they're authorized to carry in a pocket or something a 10-round mag for whatever weapon they're carrying, not just the full 30. We're 30 plus, so they're going to have that on them, so be careful. But Trump is really, really pushing that the National Guard has done a great job, that this is Antifa-led anarchists, looters, and all this shit. Don't fall for it, please. I'm not saying ally yourself with Antifa right now, but don't align with Trump and the mainstream media and the fucking right wing that blame everything on fucking Antifa and have to find a scapegoat, please. My suggestion. That's my suggestion, okay? Because we're getting these scapegoats, and because of these scapegoats, the following shit is happening. The following shit, curfews. Curfews are going into effect in cities around the country as George Floyd protests continue. Fucking shit. There's some videos that came out last night. I think I have one of those. Yeah, I have one of those loaded up, ready to go. Maybe I'll see if I can rip that one and insert it to where we watch it here instead of having you watch behind me up there all shitty. But yeah, curfews are going into effect. More control because it's for your safety. Because these Antifa-led anarchist looters are out on the streets, right? They're out on the streets, so you need to go in your home and turn on all your fucking lights so the cops can see around it more easily and not come out because they might not be able to identify or tell the difference between you and these Antifa anarchist looters. This is, what is it not martial law yet? We got National Guard, in some cases military, and obviously police out there enforcing laws, enforcing curfews, all this shit. There's 8 p.m. curfew in Minneapolis. Chicago has a 9 p.m. LA has an 8 p.m. lasting till 5:30. Atlanta has a 9 p.m. Denver, 8 p.m. Philly, 8 p.m. So yeah, it's all around 8 or 9, lasting to different points in the morning. And they say you can't be out anywhere unless you have a note from your work. What I don't understand, I'm going to take a drink of water here real quick. Fuel my ranting. What I don't understand when they say you can't be out unless you have a note that you're out for work or whatever the fuck else you're doing, and they tweet about these curfews going into effect maybe hours before they go into effect. How the fuck are you going to do that? You going to call your fucking boss if you work at a restaurant and be like, hey man, I need a note. Fucking type one up and email it to me and I'll print it out because we have all the shit to do this. I don't have a printer hooked up. Maybe a lot of people do, but I know everybody fucking doesn't. How's that going to fucking work? And they're using it for abusive purposes as well. Let me see. Here it is. I was going to put this in the what the fuck, but I guess this goes better right here. The what the fuck section of the show, but this goes better with what they're doing, how they're, how they're trampling on everything right now. Let me see if I can get this to play. Turn on my desktop audio. There we go. Get my headphone, and this is where I'll insert the video.
No, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light them up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in!
Oh, God, that hurt. You good?
Are you okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're fucked for that, dude. What?
Okay.
Fucking infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. Yeah, I'm going to have to insert the video there because I apparently didn't unmute the desktop. But holy shit, man. They're just walking down the street, just yelling like fucking assholes. Get in now! And just go ahead and shoot some rounds. Not live rounds. Thank God that these people weren't just shot on their porch. They're at their porch in the doorway when these jackboot piece of shit thugs walking down the street screaming at everyone shoot some gas pellets or canisters. And it did hit one of the women, she said, in the crotch. And it hurt. Of course, that's going to hurt. But it's just demanding that you follow orders to exactly the level they tell you, no matter how tiny it is, and if not, violence. Back to what we were saying what I was saying at the beginning of the fucking show. They are going to keep doing this because they don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about them. and they give a fuck about enforcing what they're paid to enforce. And don't fucking take this. If this happens to you and you're strapped in Minecraft, fight back in Minecraft, for fuck's sake. Have your neighbors ready. Don't let these fucking these are the roaming thugs. These are worse than the Antifa anarchist looters that Trump says are out here. These are the roaming pieces of shit terrorizing neighborhoods. And these are the people that need to be put down when they're doing that, and put down with violent force, excessive, whatever. Don't let them do this, all right? God, it makes me so angry. Excuse me, I don't want to give bad advice, but don't fucking let them do this, okay? Armed whatever, armed minorities, armed LGBTQ, armed people in general, don't get bashed. Get armed and stand up for your fucking self, okay? Because this is the shit that's happening from all the scapegoats and all the excuses. This is what they're doing with it. This is why this shit is happening. All right. So the places this is happening, I have up here on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, on concealednation.org, an interactive map of all the different protests and whatnot that are going on. It's pretty fucking cool. I want to see what the key is here. I don't know where the key is because I see a little AK over Portland. I'm wondering what that is. And then a little X over a building, Seattle, and that's kind of my neck of the woods. But the East Coast, holy shit, down to Florida is fucking lit up. The East Coast, the Midwest, the South is lit up. And then, we're pretty spread out here in the West and all these states, so there ain't a whole lot, but there is some. So take a look on concealednation.org for the interactive map, and of course I'll have that in the description, and you can find out exactly where all this shit's happening and what's happening in all these places where these are. So as far as places are concerned, there was a pretty interesting thing that happened yesterday in a Boog group, and there was a guy that came in freaking out on a post saying, oh my God, they're lighting Nashville's, the courthouse, and oh, I clicked the wrong one. No, it's not. Nashville's courthouse and City Hall. And it's historic. They're breaking it up and lighting it on fire. What do we do? Fuck them. I got to go stop it. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? They're finally doing what everyone has been bitching for them to do, and that's burning down government buildings, fucking up government buildings, and you want to go stop them? What can people do then if they're going to be out here? If you're not okay with them burning down and fucking up private businesses, and you're not okay with them burning down government buildings and doing all the shit that you were telling them to do when you saw the private businesses were getting burned down and fucked up, what do you want? Another peaceful protest? Another Boogaloo like we've been having? Is that what you want? Because that's worked out really well so far, as we can see. It's worked out so well that they haven't listened one bit and have continued passing anti-gun legislation, anything they fucking can. So think about that before you get all butthurt about fucking government buildings getting burned down. That's what we're going for here, people. For fuck's sake. Yeah, that, and there's cops getting injured. I only heard of one cop getting killed. Loss of life is never great, but like I said, fucking pigs. And they're going to kill you if given the opportunity. So don't be clutching your pearls over a historic city fucking hall getting burned down, because they are not clutching their pearls over a guy getting his neck knelt on and killed, and a guy shot in his sleep in his bedroom with his pregnant girlfriend next to him, also shot, and he was killed, with Breonna Taylor, wrong address, no-knock raid, getting shot and killed, and her boyfriend going to jail, and thankfully, from what I last heard, beating the charges, because it's bullshit, because he shot back as he should. They don't give a fuck about any of this. They don't give a fuck about you. Don't give a fuck about them. Stop it. Stop it. All right. So I think this is just an overall article on, oh no, this is DC. That's right. So there's a clash at the White House. So I can't remember who posted it. Someone posted the other day, they breached the White House. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. They didn't breach the White House. You better have a link for this. And of course, it was like some state house somewhere else. So it was painted white and it had pillars. And it's like, you almost got us. But Secret Service did clash with protesters at the White House. They broke through a barrier. Let's see, pushed through a police barricade and climbed on top of a Secret Service vehicle. Fuck yeah. At the White House on Saturday. which was the second day of violence in the Capitol. The Secret Service agents and police clashed with protesters who marched in Washington, D.C., chanting, "No justice, no peace, and I can't breathe." Yeah, as they should, and they should be storming the White House. I mean, Trump isn't doing anything to help this. Like I said before, with all his tweets, another thing he said, he warned his administration will stop mob violence and will stop it cold. I will not allow angry mobs to dominate. Frisky out of line protesters hard. I'm going to come down hard on frisky out of line protesters. The first night of demonstrations, all this bullshit that he's tweeting, and still wondering. But yeah, it's pretty funny that these guys got some huevos, man. They're in D.C. clashing with the Secret fucking Service at the White House. I love it. Keep it going everywhere. It's fucking great. All right. So now we're kind of getting close to the what the fuck section. And this one is more narrative that the media is pushing, which is actually opposite of what Trump and the right-wing media is trying to push, from what I understand. Although there is some right-wing media that's pushing this as well, which is interesting. But this is a more left-centric view of the Boogaloo. Believe it or not, Vice is at it again. Far-right extremists are hoping to turn the George Floyd protests into a new civil war. Armed extremists are showing up to protest and urging Boogaloo, code for civil war, online. Far-right extremists are showing up with guns to the protests against police brutality that have exploded across the country. No fucking shit. Everyone should be showing up with guns to the protest, because then you won't get fucked up by these fucking cops. So, yeah, Boog boys, keep it cool out there, right? You're doing a good job from what I see. Everybody's coming together and doing what they should do out there. I haven't seen any shitty behavior from Boog boys, and that's fucking awesome. That's what you need to do. I think it may not be quite time for Boog boys yet. I think when the nasty girls in the military are out, then it's Boog boys' time to shine. But so far, so good, guys. You're doing really good, and obviously they're trying to spin it, and they are trying to incite the race war here, saying they're far right, white supremacists. That's all that Boogaloo memes. Bullshit. There's Boog boys standing with black protesters, protecting businesses, doing all kinds of shit. So we're doing a good job. So that's obviously Vice. I'm not going to read anymore because Vice is trash, and that's what they fucking that's what they do. Everybody is a Nazi. But AmmoLand, which I was surprised, it says from AmmoLand, it says ATF warns police of the Boogaloo movement. And there's officer safety bulletins, pictures that they posted. It's got the thick, good job, thick Boog line, boys. You got the flag up there in the ATF briefing. So yeah, they're letting people know. And this is less, right-wing extremists. They're just saying they're warning cops about Boog boys. And honestly, maybe they should be forewarned, because the cops are the enemy, and Boog boys just want to be left alone. All of us just want to be left alone, obviously. That's what this is all about. So let's move into the what the fuck section. So there's two things here, one more extreme than the other. I'm going to go with the most extreme thing first, and that is from Atlanta. Adult National Guard members in Atlanta mistaken for kids in social media posts. So this was hilarious. When this came out, they're like, are these fucking kids that they have dressed up as National Guards at the mall here? What the hell's going on? And it was insane. I was like, 2020 can't get any weirder. We had the monkeys steal the COVID samples in India, right? So that's cross that off your 2020 bingo. And now they got what we were thinking was JROTC or where the fuck it is. Kids out here with riot shields and shit. Kids guarding a fucking Macy's, you can see in the background there. Dear God. Yeah, but it says a video that went viral on social media that users claim showed a child militia at Lenox Mall in Atlanta, Georgia, really shows adult members of the Georgia National Guard, according to Atlanta Police Department. So that's fucking hilarious. Hopefully, if you had that what the fuck moment like I did, and like, oh my God, they have kids out here? And it does say, too, the legal age is 18, 17 with parents' consent for National Guard, so they could be younger. But hopefully, if you had that what the fuck moment, now this clears it up for you. But yeah, I'll be damned if that doesn't look like kids. Look how tiny that chick is. That's got to be a chick right there, right? Standing next to that dude. And I think she's standing off a curb too. It might just be a young dude, but barely looking over the riot shield there. And another thing too, that's the nasty girls for you, huh, boys? Be ready. for to try not to laugh too hard when engaging, because that could mess up your flow and you could get taken out. But all right, last one. This is a less of a funny what the fuck moment. This one is more interesting. It's a piece I found. I can't remember who originally posted it when everybody was getting all booty bothered about looting and businesses and whatnot. And it's called In Defense of Looting. And I believe this is a piece written during the Mike Brown protests, the Ferguson protests. And it's a whole piece that you can consider. I think it's a pretty left view on why looting is okay. It's a whole class thing. But I wanted to bring this up so to broaden some horizons, because I read it and it broadened some of the ideas in my mind. And I was never against looting bootlickers and corporations that are in bed with government anyways. But this, I think, is more of a looting in general. And it's more anti-white supremacist narrative according to the piece. So check it out. See what you think. I'd be curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comments on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you are. If you're watching on YouTube, you can just drop them right in there. If you're listening on a podcatcher, go to YouTube and drop them, or hit me up on Facebook on the Dank Pod-Stash page where I post this. Give it a like and let me know what you think of In Defense of Looting. And I think that's about it. I'm sure there's stuff I've missed. Oh, yeah, one more thing real quick. Apparently, Derek Chauvin is supposed to have killed himself. The cop that knelt on George Floyd's neck, killing him, is supposed to have killed himself on Suicide Watch. Another Epstein. But I've only seen one article from a really sketchy source claiming that. Everyone else claims he's just on Suicide Watch. So let me know about that, too. Apparently, there's a relationship that had happened between George Floyd and Derek Chauvin, and possibly Derek Chauvin's wife. Some crazy shit, I guess. I don't want to get too far into it because I don't know how much is real. Apparently, you can look up and find some pretty sketchy shit. And that's not the first time that's happened either. Like the woman cop who killed the black man in, I want to say it was in Phoenix. They had a history that didn't come out till later. We know for sure that George Floyd and Derek Chauvin had overlapping times working for security at a bar, but it might go deeper than that. Might be some love triangle nonsense, and who fucking knows? Either way, you can't fucking kill somebody like that. You can't kill somebody at all. You shouldn't be able to kill somebody at all if you're a cop. Not only morally, but also in the statist way. They're not judge, jury, and executioner. Man, it's not okay, and this is why this is happening. So I'm going to sign off. Remember, be safe at these protests, guys. Take care. Be prepared. Don't let them goad you into doing stupid shit. Remember, when you're armed, you don't get fucked with usually, and you can at least defend yourself, okay? Total freedoms, no exceptions. Remember that. And also, don't forget that the Dank Pod-Stash is still, at the end of the show even, officially sponsored by Project Sparta. Go to projectspartacoaching.com and let Greg get you in #Boogaloo ready shape. All right. Once again, total freedom, no exceptions. Take it easy, my friends.